by Geico. They'll have 100,000 people on hand. The #1 team in all the land, the Crimson Tide of Alabama, get to take on their rivals from Tennessee. Don't volunteer. And with that, we say hi and very pleasant good evening. It's Saturday night in the SEC with Brian Greasy. I'm Steve Levy. It is the third Saturday in October, and what that means, you get the traditional rivalry that Alabama has owned lately, but we'll see if they're on alert tonight.
What a great atmosphere. At night, the first night game here at Alabama this season, they got new lights. This is going to be like a rock concert out here tonight.
It's like a club. Now listen, Illinois, nearly a 5-touchdown underdog today against Wisconsin. I'm not saying, Grease.
You're just saying.
I'm just saying Nick Saban must have made his guys aware coming into this game tonight.
I don't think there's any question that Alabama will be ready to play tonight. And Tua Tagovailoa, this offense, scoring 51 points a game. It's going to be exciting to watch them against a Tennessee defense that, quite frankly, is overmatched. And then watching Brian Maurer play for Tennessee, I think that's going to be fun, too.
Somebody's going to be smoking some cigars tonight. We expect it will be on the Alabama side. So listen, the rankings are subjective. We get that. Alabama's #1 in the country, but no one, Todd McShay, can argue that the Crimson Tide have the best wide receiver room in the nation.
And we know that you're going to be smoking cigars tonight. And the lights just went out on me, but the guy I want to talk about is Jerry Jeudy. Everyone's going to talk about Tua, how great this group is in terms of a whole. But when you watch Tua and you watch this wide receiver crew, Jerry Jeudy not only catching the football, 42 catches this year, it's what they do with him to take some of the pressure away from the other receivers. They utilize him, they really disguise him, they move him around, and he is really, to me, the most important player on the field for this Alabama football team.
It's like McShay walked into a nightclub on a Saturday night. Good job, John Travolta. This place is ready to explode. They got the new LED lights working. And they plan on busting some bulbs tonight with a whole lot of touchdowns for the home team. They have owned Tennessee, having won the last 12 matchups. We're just about set for the 102nd meeting all time. Tennessee and Alabama. Nick Saban has never lost to one of his former assistants. Molly is next.
You're watching the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. As we continue, Dr. Pepper's Championship Drive Game of the Week. This place, unlike most stadiums in the country, is packed. Every seat taken before kickoff. Tennessee won their first SEC game dating back to November. Molly McGrath, they're feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. They're very confident entering this game, and their wide receiver, Jawan Jennings, told me that they're not intimidated by the #1 team in the country, saying this isn't the same Alabama team from years past that can easily just win a championship. He then stopped himself, said, I don't want to say too much, but our receivers are confident heading into this matchup against their defense. And Jennings told me he's the vocal leader and mouthpiece for this team, and they truly believe they have the talent to beat anyone in the country, Alabama included. Whether or not that's true, Jeremy Pruitt said that's what makes Jennings so special, and Jennings was full of energy in pregame warmups, yelling and firing up the team, and he's going to be key for Tennessee's offense tonight, Steve.
All right, Molly and Todd need some sunglasses on the field tonight. This is a wild effect. They've been waiting all season to try it out. And as you mentioned, Grease, the first home night game of the campaign for the top-ranked Crimson Tide. Alabama has won the toss. They win everything all the time. They have chosen to defer. Tennessee will get the football first. And we will see Brian Maurer. That was in question. The freshman quarterback will give it a go tonight. Joseph Bulovas puts the football on a tee. Marquez Callaway is back deep for Tennessee. 15 minutes on the clock, quarter number one. We start 0-0 and underway from T-Town. And it's a short kick from Callaway from the three. Ty Chandler able to return and doesn't get the yardage he would like. Cahoe on the special teams stop. And Tennessee will start with difficult field position. Last week, Brian Maurer left the game after he flipped over and landed on his head. Managed to stay in for a couple more plays through a red zone interception. Was taken out of the game. Concussion protocol all week. He has been cleared, ready to go. Coaching staff said he took all the snaps he needed to take this week. Not that he took all the snaps, but all the ones he needed to take. And on first down, Ty Chandler not going anywhere. It's a loss of one. Anthony Jennings on to make the stop.
This is a heck of an environment for a true freshman quarterback in Brian Maurer to come in and make this start on the road. This place is loud. The first night game of the season. They're in full lather, full throat. He's got to be careful here to start the game, not to give it away.
Brian, we've been to 100 of these, but every single time you come to an SEC night game, you feel the difference. It's so different than anywhere else in the country. I can't imagine being a young quarterback here.
Here's Maurer, pressure up the middle. And they screen right through the pressure. It's a gain of 3 on the play. It's Dominic Wood-Anderson, and it brings up a third down.
Yeah, Maurer lucky to get rid of that football. The blitzing linebacker right up the middle. He took a big shot, and right off the bat, first drive of the game, he's behind the sticks, 3rd and 7.
More pressure coming. Maurer gets rid of it down the sideline. Wanted Jawan Jennings. Can't find him. Shaheem Carter had the excellent coverage for Bama, and it's a 3-and-out.
Well, they found the matchup they like. Their best wide receiver, Jawan Jennings, on the nickelback, Shaheem Carter. That's a matchup that Tennessee likes. They think that's in their favor. Just a little bit overthrown.
Jalen Waddle leads the nation in punt return yardage. Last week, he returned 4 punts for an average of 32 yards. Return game was on the money for Alabama a week ago. There is a flag down.
Substitution infraction, offense, 12 players in the formation, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Hubert Owens, our referee tonight. The ball spotted at the 12. Joe Doyle, the walk-on punter.
We'll see if they decide to punt to Jalen Waddle. If it were me, I would not punt him.
Low snap. Doyle gets it away. Short kick, Waddle on the Tennessee side of the field. Comes to the near side and down the sideline. It's a 37-yard punt, a 14-yard return, and Tua Tagovailoa, Todd McShay will start with excellent field position.
Yeah, he's in a good spot here, as he usually is with these wide receivers. But Tua, talk to general managers, scouting directors for college, for NFL teams that are scouting college. They're all here to see the wide receivers. So much talent for Alabama, but Tua's the guy. He's the next quarterback. We've heard about tanking for Tua, the Miami Dolphins potentially getting him in the #1 overall pick. Bottom line is, this guy has supreme talent, and he's the most accurate downfield passer in all of college football.
From the 35, he's going to throw quick. Slant in the middle to Jerry Jeudy. They get Jeudy involved quickly.
And why not? This has been their #1 play all season. It's the run-pass option, or RPO. Stick the ball in Najee Harris' belly, and when the defense sucks in, they hit the slant behind the Jeudy.
From the 16. This time on the ground. Harris keeps it in his belly. And he's down to the 10-yard line. DeAndre Johnson to stop for Tennessee. The 16th drive started in their opponent's territory on the plus side of the field so far this season for Alabama. Drive started at the 35 of Tennessee. You got some more flags.
False start, offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, second down.
And this is uncharacteristic for the #1 team in the country. They're the most penalized team in the SEC.
Yeah, that's Jedrick Wills, the right tackle, with the false start. I think it's worth mentioning that Nick Saban has decided to go with Landon Dickerson, the transfer from Florida State, as his starting center. He did it last week when Chris Owens was hurt. Now he's back healthy, but Dickerson stays at center, and Deontay Brown's the starting right guard.
From the 15 now. Tagovailoa, straight drop, throws, end zone, trying to find Henry Ruggs. Looking for a flag. Bryce Thompson on the coverage. There is a flag down.
It looked like Bryce Thompson had a tug of the jersey of Ruggs.
Pass interference, defense, number 20. Foul occurred in the end zone. The ball is placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
Thompson's in good position. He just doesn't need to grab the jersey and pull on Ruggs. Right here, you see that left hand up on. Right there, he's got like a little horse collar, and that's going to be called every time. You can't use the offensive player to catapult yourself up to make a play.
So that's a 13-yard penalty with half the distance to the goal. It is first down and goal from the 2. Ruggs in a slot. Tagovailoa hands off to Harris. He'll fall forward. Maybe a yard on the play. Sean Schamberger made the stop.
This is a Tennessee defense that's going to play the first half of this game without one of their best linebackers, and Henry To'o. He was at a targeting foul last game, so he's out the first half of this one.
And on the offensive side, Alabama without Devontae Smith. Retaliated from a punch last week. He'll miss the first half. 2 tight ends, 2 backs in for Alabama. That's Harris, bottom of your screen. Tagovailoa, back of the end zone. Incomplete, but a flag flies in. Miller Forrestal, the tight end, couldn't haul it in. Nigel Warrior had the coverage, and I believe we'll get our second pass interference
This
call.
was a great read from Nigel Warrior. It's just bad execution. He's in good position.
Defense. On an eligible receiver doing a legal forward pass play, half the distance to the goal line, automatic first down.
And this is such a different Alabama offense than we're used to seeing. I mean, in the days of old, they would just line up and pound this ball in. They're not a great running football team. This is a pass-first football team for Alabama, and we're seeing it here down inside the 2-yard line.
Ali Cajo to lead block for Najee Harris. Touchdown. They bring the big fella in, and Alabama, an opportunity to use those new fancy lights.
So many ways that Nick Saban gets production. Tennessee comes out, they go 3 and out, and then they punt the ball to Jalen Waddle, which I think is a mistake, and he returns it back to the 35-yard line, and that's operating downhill for this offense.
Kicking game has been a problem. Bulovas able to connect on the extra point. First possession for Alabama with a short field. Leads to a long touchdown. You can check out our alternate angle Xfinity Skycam coverage of today's game, streaming live on the ESPN app. Like going to a club on a Saturday night.
How do you know?
That was a long time ago. Saturday Night Fever, baby. 7-0 Alabama. Bulovas puts it in the air. Ty Chandler from the 6 after another short kick. And Chandler out to the 20-yard line. Seems like Nick Saban only lets you leave if he knows he can beat you. His extensive coaching tree, a lot of quality assistants go on to be head coaches. They all have one thing in common. They can't beat their former boss. Nick is 18-0 against his former assistants. Jeremy Pruitt, who's hanging around tonight, he's already 0-1 entering this game here. I mean, he knows all their secrets, Steve, but you would think they would know his too.
Might have something to do with some good players.
Oh, talent. Here's Jennings on the receiving end. 5 will give him on the play on forward progress. And if you look at the assistants, I mean, really, Kirby Smart has been the closest to being the first assistant to beat him. It was 2018, the last national championship game. That was 26-23, Bama in overtime. Then last season, the SEC championship game, Bama won by 7. But the 16 lost by 17 or more points. So Kirby's come the closest to figuring it out, or he has the best players. One of the two. On 2nd and 5. Here's Tim Jordan with a good run and a first down. Matt Barry. Good one there. A highly entertaining college football Saturday. So far, we'll see what develops here tonight in Tuscaloosa. Here's Maurer to throw, trying to slant of his own. He's intercepted. It's picked off by Jared Maiden. Off the hands of Jawan Jennings. And then Maiden able to take it away. Turnover, Tennessee.
Boy, and if you thought you were going to get a turnover, you would not expect it to come from Jawan Jennings. He's their most consistent player. That ball was thrown perfectly. A big hit by Xavier McKinney forced that ball out. And this Alabama defense, we've known them for years to force the issue on offenses, and on the second drive, they take one away.
Just when Tennessee thought they were clicking a little bit, had the first down, building a little confidence. So they start at the 35 of Tennessee the first time, and now the 38-yard line of the Vols. Off the play fake. Tagovailoa. Off for Harris out of the backfield. Stays on his feet for the first down. And he's inside the 25. Gain of 14 on the play.
That was they wanted to throw the haymaker there with Tua downfield.
Quick change.
They ran a double move, right, and wasn't open. Jennings, no, he gave up an opportunity here, giving Alabama the ball in plus territory.
And Jennings was the one who told Molly earlier this week that Alabama was different. Not the same kind of Alabama that's going to blow the doors off of everybody in the SEC and around the country. Tagovailoa to Henry Ruggs. He is met immediately. Bryce Thompson, excellent tackle for a loss of 2.
Well, make no mistake, Jawan Jennings is the emotional leader of this Tennessee team. So, he's trying to fire his team up, and last thing he wants to do is come out, juggle the ball, and turn it over. But you get in this environment, right, against a team that's got more talent than you, and you can't afford any missteps, especially on the first 2 drives.
Molly's report resonated around the country. It was one of the big news stories to come out of UCLA Stanford. They were talking about Tennessee and Alabama. Tagovailoa for Harris again out of the backfield. Similar play. Banged out at about the 20-yard line. Molly.
Well, Steve, Jawan Jennings just walked up and down the entire line, apologizing individually to each one of his offensive teammates, and he just went into Brian Maurer's ear and was talking to him. So he's taking responsibility and accountability for his mistake early in this game.
I love this kid. I mean, you talk to the coaching staff, and they bring up his name. He's the toughest competitor on this entire team, one of the toughest players on the team. Jim Chaney loves him. Jeremy Pruitt the same.
Chaney said, give me 40 guys, just like Jennings. I'll take them. 3rd down and 3. Tagovailoa underneath, crossing to Jerry Jeudy. First down and maybe more. Down to the 2. That's where Bryce Thompson dropped him. Gain of 15.
You know, a lot of people talk about Jerry Jeudy down the field, double moves, slants. This is just a shallow cross, and he's the third read in the progression. They wanted to get the ball to Waddle downfield. He didn't like it. How nice as a quarterback to dump it down 3 yards on a crossing route to that man.
First down and goal from the 2. Tagovailoa to throw for it. Gets some pressure. He's all the way back at the 20. Throws, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Intercepted by Nigel Warrior down the sideline, running out of gas, and he'll be taken down by Henry Ruggs, the fastest man on the field. It's a pick at the goal line by the senior Nigel Warrior, and a 60-yard interception return.
Tua Tagovailoa has thrown 27 touchdowns this season alone. He's only thrown 1 interception. Now this is the second, and it's clearly a bad decision. You want him to make a play. You want to throw the ball in the end zone, but you also want to be smart. And when you get in this situation, you're trying to make a play, and see where he throws this football, there's just no chance of completing that ball.
Here's Maurer with a second crack at it on the Alabama side of the field. Down to the 40, gain of 1 from Tim Jordan. And the happiest guy in the building on the turnover, Juwan Jennings.
That takes a load off your shoulders, right? I mean, all right, let me put my helmet back on. Let's go do something. They're going to come out and make up for it. If I'm Jim Chaney, I'm getting him right back into this game. Yeah, he bobbled the last one, but I know I need number 15 if we're going to compete in this ball game.
Maurer, designed quarterback draw. It's a loss of 2 on the play. Terrell Lewis made the stop.
And Raekwon Davis, the assist as well. You know, Raekwon, he's had a silent year. He hasn't been the game wrecker that we anticipated him to be. That's a mix-up up front with the offensive line. They don't even block him, but Raekwon Davis came back because he wanted to atone for last year. He felt like he wasn't himself. He kind of thought he'd made it, ready to go to the NFL. He came back for this year to atone for last year, and he's starting to warm up.
And you got caught listening to some rat poison. Here's 3rd and 10. Maurer to throw for it. Back shoulder, it is caught. There is a flag down. Josh Palmer has it and has it up for the first down. It's a gain of 20. We'll check the marker.
I don't think Hubert knows that there's a flag down on the near side on the 40-yard line.
Defense, number 99. Penalties refused. Result of the play is a first down.
Really nice throw from Brian Maurer. He's been on target. Yeah, the last one was dropped for the interception, not his fault, but this time a back shoulder throw to Palmer shows you a little bit of the free spirit. He's a freewheeling kind of guy. His offensive coordinator, Jim Chaney, we talked to him last night. He said it 7 times, free spirit.
He did in about 10 minutes. 2 tight ends in for Tennessee. Maurer off the play fake. Trying to get a little too cute, trying to hit Dominic Wood-Anderson. And it's going to be a penalty. And the holding, let's see if that goes also against Alabama.
Yeah, they're trying to get the ball to the tight end, and Terrell Lewis came upfield and kind of grabbed him with his arm. I think that's what they're talking about here.
Holding. Defense, number 24. 10-yard penalty. After the penalty is a first down.
Yeah, it wasn't much from Terrell Lewis, but it was a little bit. He's coming upfield, and now he recognizes, oh, I have that guy in coverage. I'm supposed to knock off the tight end, and he just grabs his arm a little bit. But when that happens on the edge of the formation, that linesman, he sees that. And
3 penalties against Alabama so far, only 2 accepted. If they were penalized 11 times a week ago.
Tennessee has to make Alabama pay here. About a 14-point swing potential.
Now Jordan in the flat. He's going to lose some yards. Christian Harris is the first man there. the true freshman, to make the stop. And another marker.
The back judge, this flag came in late.
Holding. Offense. Number 15. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Juwan Jennings, up and down night continues.
Yeah, not the kind of start that Juwan wanted to have. Penalties in the red zone. Jeremy Pruitt knows that's a killer. Got a lot of young players out here, but Juwan Jennings is not one of them. They're starting. He played 21 freshmen. That's a lot of young players.
110 players on the roster, Grease. 80 are freshmen or sophomore.
Yeah.
This is his actual first full recruiting class on the field here tonight for Pruitt. Good protection. Maurer zips it into Jennings. Went up and caught it. And he's taken down inside the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 18 on the play.
First things first, you got to have a great pocket and give Tennessee's offensive line credit. Watch him up front. Great job. And then just a double move. Look at that move right there from Juwan Jennings. Gets the linebacker. That matchup on a linebacker, a true freshman in Christian Harris on Juwan Jennings. Nick Saban is not going to want to see that again.
It's a nice job by Maurer, too, hanging in there, knowing that he had protection and going through his progressions. Really impressive for a young quarterback in this environment.
They can still get a first down without scoring. First carry for Eric Gray. Terrell Lewis made the stop at the 1. You'll see the spot on the imaginary yellow line, which is unofficial, as always.
I think they're going to take a second and measure this. If I'm Jeremy Pruitt, I'd love for them to measure this, because if you go back and run this again and get stopped for negative yardage, then you're in a bad situation. So change your play calling completely if you got a first down inside the 1.
Good chance, though, also for Maurer to take a couple deep breaths here.
I think Maurer, I mean, he's looked fine to me. You know, that interception's not on him. He's thrown the ball accurately. I didn't anticipate coming into this game that this stage was going to be too big for him. I know he's a freshman, came up just short there, but just watching him on tape, talking with Jim Chaney, they feel really good about the prospects of Brian Maurer. Yes, he's going to be up and down as a true freshman, but he is not going to blink. Doesn't have any issue pulling the trigger and throwing balls, anticipating throws, standing in the pocket, running, and there seem to be no signs of the concussion from a week ago.
So not a first down. 3rd and 1. Maurer. Did he get there? Waiting for the signal. Still no signal, which means no touchdown.
I think that was a touchdown.
Anybody see anybody putting the arms in the air?
The head linesman down here on this side was the one that should have seen it on the left side. He clearly gets into the end zone right there. He's not on the ground. He's on top of players. That's
a great look.
Clear touchdown. What a drive. What an answer. The mistake by Tua Tagovailoa is a 14-point swing early in this game.
Extra point. On the way and good. 4:21 to go here in the first. Tennessee's not going to go easily into the night. We're tied at 7 in Tuscaloosa.
ESPN College Football is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And in part by Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football.
October 14, 1995, Legion Field in Birmingham. After throwing an 80-yard touchdown on Tennessee's first play, Peyton showing off the wheels.
Look at that speed.
It's the naked bootleg. Peyton went 3-1 against Alabama. His only loss was 17-13 his freshman year. And a really short kick, the up man. And again, Bama's going to take over with ridiculous field position to start. Major Tennyson, the tight end
Well, I think that has a lot to do with Jeremy Pruitt and his respect for the special teams of Alabama, right? Jalen Waddle, Henry Ruggs, both dangerous returners. And we talk for Alabama all about the offense. We talk defense the last 5-10 years. The special teams this year, I believe, are a real difference maker for them.
Bama had 311 return yards last week. After a punt return or a kick return, their average starting field position was at the Texas A&M 41-yard line.
Well, Jalen Waddle had 128 return yards in the punt game.
So far today, the average starting field position's even better than that. And that's Najee Harris out to nearly midfield for a gain of 14 on first down.
I think one of the goals for Alabama offensively, and Steve Sarkisian talking with him yesterday, for them tonight on offense is to get this run game going. He feels like they need to be more physical in the run game. Najee Harris, with his size at 230 pounds, they should be getting more production in their run game, and they need that because they are a run and play action team, and if they're not running it successfully, then the play action suffers.
Here's Harris. They had sent Waddle in motion.
It's the thing that stands out to me the most when just watching tape and studying coming into this week. This offense is so prolific in terms of the passing game. Tua obviously so accurate as a passer. The three receivers are as good as any trio in the country. But Alabama usually can just line up and run the football. And it's not the same this year. That's been the biggest difference to me watching them, and I think that's where they have to improve the most.
Yeah, they're 8th in the SEC alone running the football, and I think some of it is they're so good throwing it. Why wouldn't they throw it?
That's fair.
Harris up the middle.
I mean, if we were up here talking about how they were running the ball 50-50 run to pass, we'd be like, why aren't they giving the ball to receivers more?
So, guys, can you understand how preposterous that would sound, though, like to the rest of college football? Hey, Bama's still working on the running game. Like that, right? You're not getting a whole lot of sympathy from anybody else.
No, but I do think it is something that matters to Nick Saban. He knows that he wanted to have more offense. After what happened last year in the national championship game, they needed to have more offense, but it starts with them running the football.
First down and 10. Tagovailoa to throw. Crossing is Henry Ruggs. He's out at the 25 after a gain of 18.
Great patience in the pocket from Tua. This is what excites everybody about this young man. His patience, he doesn't flinch, he won't hesitate. Throw that ball with anticipation outside the numbers. He knows exactly where these routes should be completed. And outside of that one interception, typically he's a great decision maker.
See that picture too. He's got an easy smile, right? An easy way about him. He's so humble. Confident, humble, and a terrific teammate. Harris running, taken down. A couple of flags fly. It's a gain of 5 if it stands. So we come up on 2 minutes left in this first quarter.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, number 35. Half a distance to the goal line. Automatic first down.
That's Daniel Batuli, one of the senior leaders on this Tennessee defense.
Yeah, Batuli coming off of a knee scope. Good to see him back out there playing, and just an unfortunate to come up and hit somebody like that. I guarantee you, you're not really that worried about where your hand is. Okay, you just butted heads with a fullback, and that's just a little bit of bad luck for Batuli. But he's an outstanding football player. Jeremy Pruitt has built this front seven around him and Darrell Taylor, both seniors.
Batuli missed the first half of this game in Knoxville a year ago after a targeting penalty the previous game. Brian Robinson taking on contact and the pylon.
Yes, that foot was in, ball hit the pylon. Left foot is inbounds. Great effort from Robinson, and a great block on the end of line of scrimmage by the tight end Miller Forrestall to seal it and let Robinson get to the corner.
First carry of the night for Brian Robinson. It's quite the success.
And that drive is a perfect example of what Alabama wants to be. Running the football, being powerful, and then the play action completion from Tua, and then more physical run game inside the 10.
And Bulovas has been perfect on extra points. He's 2 for 2 tonight. And that'll come as a welcome relief for the Alabama faithful. Up 14-7. Barry and I are on a last name basis. As we continue Dr. Pepper's championship drive, game of the week, with 95 seconds left in the first quarter. Alabama hasn't been in a lot of tight first quarters this season, outscoring their opponents 70-27 in the first quarter coming into play tonight. And now, from plan to play, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.
Yeah, let's take a look at young Brian Maurer, the true freshman, how he's operating here on the road at Bryant-Denny. Great communication here with the receiver, the back shoulder throw on Diggs, who's an excellent corner. When you give him some time in the pocket and you give Juwan Jennings an opportunity to work down the field, it's great job, great accuracy, getting that touchdown. And then you see a little bit of that free spirit on the sideline. As a true freshman, it's hard to come in and be a leader, but this kid has some juice to him. There's something about him that his teammates respond to. See if he can put back-to-back drives together here for Tennessee.
Fourth possession of the quarter for Tennessee. And they jump.
False start. Offense. Number 64. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's Wanye Morris, the true freshman from Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah, and Brian Maurer's got to be aware. He's got 2 true freshman tackles. Wanye Morris on the left side and Darnell Wright on the right side, number 72. These guys are going to be great players. They're just young. They have a lot of talent. They're highly recruited kids. But coming into this environment with this noise and the pass rushers that Alabama has, that's a task.
And Wanye's a 5-star guy. Little pump and completion to Jenkins. And there's a flag down. Couple of flags down. And Brian Maurer slow to get up, if at all.
Well, Maurer, remember, had the concussion a week ago. He took a shot high late.
I've never seen a player so quickly look over to the sideline.
Targeted. Defense, number 35. 15 yards added to the end of the run. Automatic first down. The previous play is under further review.
That's Shane Lee, Alabama's own true freshman who's talented.
And right now, it's all about Brian Maurer. Took a scary hit. Throws this ball, and then watch the hit up high. And then the back of his head hits the knee of his offensive lineman. That's what got him.
After review, the ruling of targeting has been reversed. There was not forcible contact. Number 35 remains in the game. First down.
So you'll see it again here. And after one replay, you could see this is clearly not targeting. It's really a shove, but it's the back end, Maurer falling, and Darnell Wright, his own right tackle there on top of his head.
Yeah, and immediately you saw Brian Maurer signal the sideline to come get him. So Jarrett Garantano, like he did a week ago, in the ball game.
Garantano's made 22 career starts. The lights will not be too bright for him. Tim Jordan for a yard.
And just to refresh from a week ago, playing against Mississippi State, he took this wicked hit, went down awkward, and he stayed in the game. He got up, stayed in the game after that for a couple more plays, threw an interception in the end zone, and then Jeremy Pruitt pulled him out, and he was diagnosed with a concussion. And to have another shot on his head in back-to-back weeks, that's scary. And I think they'll be really careful. I don't expect him to come back in this football game.
Molly will get us a report as soon as it becomes available. Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. Garantano to throw. Hooks up with Jennings, going to be short of the marker. Jared Maiden, who had an earlier interception, makes the tackle. It's a gain of 7.
Now you wonder about Jarrett Garantano. Right? Where is his confidence? You know, he was the starter, had a great spring, great fall camp. Jeremy Pruitt was excited. Jim Chaney excited to see what Jarrett Garantano could do, and he didn't play well. He didn't play well enough through the first 4 games of the season, and he was benched in favor of Brian Maurer, and now it looks like this is his ball game. So we'll see if he'll be up to the task.
That's Maurer just out of the tent. Again, as soon as a report becomes available, Molly will have it for you. An eventful first 15 in Tuscaloosa.
Welcome back to Tuscaloosa, where quarterback Brian Maurer looked dazed when he left Tennessee's medical tent, and head coach Jeremy Pruitt talked to Maurer very closely. I don't know what he said, but Maurer looked very upset and was escorted back to the locker room without his helmet, Steve.
That was a one-way conversation, Molly.
I can tell you exactly what he said. Listen, kid, you're done. Go hit the showers.
End of story.
Yeah, you don't mess around with, head injuries and back-to-back weeks.
Back-to-back, yeah. Tim Jordan on 3rd and 1 gets the first down for Tennessee. Jarrett Garantano, I told you, made 22 starts. Would it surprise you that he has the second best completion percentage all time in Tennessee's program history, behind only Peyton?
Is this your graphic?
Was it? What do you mean it was my graphic?
Yeah, that's something that you would put together.
It's our graphic.
Yeah, Peyton and I didn't see that graphic. You put Peyton and Jarrett on the same graphic?
It's our graphic.
Team game, Grease.
Numbers don't lie. We used to have a TV show. It's called that. On 1st down and 10. Over the head of Juwan Jennings.
Here's the thing about Jarrett Garantano, okay? I mean, you can put any graphic you want with a completion percentage. This is a kid that needs to relax. He wants to be great. He's a great kid, and he wants to be the Tennessee quarterback, and he wants to do it well for Jeremy Pruitt, but he just hasn't produced. And we talked with Jeremy Pruitt yesterday. He said, listen, the kid was throwing interceptions. Jim Chaney said he was changing plays when it didn't make sense to change plays. He wasn't playing the position well. Now, hopefully he has another opportunity here and he plays better.
Big run by Tim Jordan down the sideline. That's the burst that Tennessee needed. It's a gain of 33, and there are no flags.
They got to run the football. I mean, Tennessee, they have to go behind this big offensive line. Trey Smith, the left guard, a great block on DJ Dale, and that opens up that hole on the left side, but they have to run the football to have any chance tonight.
Did you see the field judge, Greg Thomas, go down on the sideline there? See if Greg's okay. Tim Jordan in the backfield. Jarrett Garantano. Garantano will keep it and spin around for a gain of 2.
Well, when we talked with Jim Chaney, the offensive coordinator, he talked about this offensive line, and he felt like potentially coming into the season, there's Jim, that this was going to be a problem, a worry area, the offensive line. But he said, last night, he said, you know what? The offensive line has played good enough. It really has been the poor quarterback play. He's excited about the youth that they have up front. They've got 2 true freshmen, and they've got to reestablish a line of scrimmage here tonight.
From the Bama 18. Garantano to throw. Try to zip it into Callaway, and there are flags down. Patrick Surtain on the coverage for the Crimson Tide.
Now this is the same play Alabama runs all the time to Jerry Jeudy, and it's so hard to defend for a corner because he's on the outside and he has to play through the receiver.
Defense number 2. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's almost impossible with an accurate throw and a good route for a corner to break up that play and not have pass interference.
Yeah, and everyone standing behind me is miserable right now regarding that call, but he earned it. Surtain earned it. You can't have your arm wrapped around the wide receiver the way that number 2 did.
1st and goal from the Alabama 5. Jordan's big run of 33 yards setting things up.
They motioned Garantano out, and they were getting ready to go Wildcat with Ty Chandler. Jeremy Pruitt won't be happy about this because now Nick Saban knows exactly what he's trying to do offensively. He just tipped his hand. He's not happy. He said, we're just going to reset the 25-second clock. And I agree with him.
Yeah, tried to catch Bama's defense by surprise.
Right.
So why'd they shut it down?
Please give me an explanation.
Because we're in Tuscaloosa.
Now he's just going to line up in it.
That's an explanation. That's Garantano. Bottom of your screen. Let's see if Darnell Wright jumped.
False start. Offense. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's the other true freshman, the right tackle, Darnell Wright.
Well, that's the one risk you take when you take the quarterback out of the snap procedure. You put in Tim Jordan, who snaps his hands and it's not coordinated, and you get an offsides.
7th penalty against Tennessee already. We're 2 minutes into the second quarter. Garantano out of the gun. Jennings in a slot. They'll run it with Tim Jordan. And he'll be pushed back. Getting no gain on forward progress. Christian Harris and Raekwon Davis for Alabama.
Yeah, and Alabama defensively is playing man-to-man coverage on the outside, and they're stacking the box. Tennessee's gotten down here predominantly on the ground. They are not going to let them run this ball into the end zone. The game plan for Nick Saban will be pretty clear. Force Jarrett Garantano to make the read and make the throw to get it in the end zone.
And Jeremy Pruitt was really upset. He just yelled at Garantano, throw the ball. What are you doing?
9th play of the drive. See if he throws it this time. Flag comes in. Garantano throws it. It is dropped. Couple of flags down. Austin Pope was the intended target. We have 3 flags on the field.
Ineligible downfield. Number 62 on the offense. Penalties decline. Holding number 72 on the offense. That penalties decline. Holding number 74 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Now you don't see that every day. 3 different penalties on the offense.
How do you decide which one to choose?
And how in the world is this play not successful? You held 3 guys. It's because Austin Pope dropped the ball. Wow, they had first down inside the 5-yard line, and now they're second down at the 20.
Yeah, this has blown up in Jeremy Pruitt's face, and he probably deserves a better fate. And he better be careful on that sideline. Wearing out is welcome. The former Alabama coordinator and player. Garantano for the end zone. Into double coverage and over Marquez Callaway's head. Surtain and McKinney in the neighborhood.
Yeah, you got to be careful here if you're Jim Chaney. I know you want to get the touchdown, but you got 3 points potentially. But if Jarrett Garantano tries to force this ball, look at Surtain. He's just measuring it up. If that ball was accurate to the receiver, it would have been an interception.
3rd and goal from the 20. Garantano off the bench.
I'm going screen here, preserve the field goal attempt.
Garantano once more. And overthrew Jennings. He had him, and he missed him. 4th down.
Wow, I'm shocked that Alabama decided to play man-to-man coverage. And Garantano, they got exactly the matchup they wanted. Jennings on Shaheem Carter. Look at this double move. And they get Carter, and this could have been a touchdown if it was an accurate throw. Got to give him a chance in that scenario.
Brent Samalaga on for a 37-yard field goal attempt. Right through the uprights. Samaglia boots it through. The most accurate kicker in the SEC. 12 of 13 on the season. It's Bama by 4. Great game there. Not sure anyone expected that to be so close. Not sure anyone expected this game to be so close. Even with 12 minutes left in the second quarter as we continue Dr. Pepper's championship drive game of the week. I mean, Dr. Pepper obviously knew they made it the championship drive game of the week. They knew. Paxton Brooks does the kickoffs for Tennessee. And Henry Ruggs in the end zone for the touchback. Take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by AT&T. So what jumps off the page to me right away is I still can't get used to the 3 next to Clemson.
Yeah.
That's a little weird, right? We haven't seen Clemson in that spot. But then you look at Wisconsin going down to Illinois today. Good job by Lovey.
Yeah, give Lovey Smith credit. He felt like they had a chance. And now back-to-back weeks where somebody in the top 10 goes down. Last week, Georgia, and this week, Wisconsin. You better show up at college football.
You can't take a Saturday off. You know that. Here's Tagovailoa. Across the middle of Forrestall, the tight end. And he's got first down yardage. We'll give him 14 on the play. We saw the opener against Duke in Atlanta. Alabama won that game 42-3, and Miller Forrestall caught his first ever reception. It was a touchdown catch against those Blue Devils.
I thought it was interesting talking with Steve Sarkisian and with Tua Tagovailoa yesterday. And Steve Sarkisian, I think, has been great for Tua. He's given him the NFL treatment, giving him the hardest looks he possibly can every single practice. Sometimes they're practicing stuff that they know they're not going to see, but just trying to get him ready for anything.
Loading up and firing for Jerry Jeudy. No, I beg your pardon. It's Ruggs and Jeudy in the neighborhood, and Ruggs underneath.
Look at this speed on the outside. Just a double post, and it's a breakdown in the secondary for Tennessee. Whether it was Thompson, that was like catching a punt out there. But Thompson, 20, was trying to signal to the safety, hey, you got these guys. But if you have Jeudy and Ruggs running one-on-one on a safety, somebody's busted.
And just like that, it's a gain of 48. And Bama's in business at the 13 of Tennessee. Harris on the ground. Tennessee stops that run. Kavon Bennett, the stop. It's a loss of 3 on the play, but Thule there as well.
This offense is good enough, right? You can't help them. And in the secondary, if you're going to have busts, this team is going to make you pay. And it's hard enough to guard Jeudy and Ruggs and Smith when you have the right assignment, but that breakdown in the secondary for Jeremy Pruitt just made it too easy.
So much talent at the wide receiver spot for Alabama. 2nd and 13. Tagovailoa underneath the cross to Brian Robinson, the running back. He's down to the 7, but Thule the stop there and a gain of 8. And again, we asked the question, well, why don't they run the football more? Because the passing game is so outstanding for Alabama. But there will be a time where they'll need to run the football and squeeze some clock as well.
Sure they will. This offensive line, Todd doesn't think they're great running the football, but they've been pretty good in pass pro. That's for sure. I get it. Tennessee doesn't have a really elite pass rusher, but right now, Tua Tagovailoa is really comfortable in the pocket.
Send all emails to me, please.
That's at Todd McShay. Tagovailoa underneath. It's Jeudy trying to dive for the goal line. He's short. But Thule put the helmet in there along with Nigel Warrior to gain a 7.
That was a big hit from Batuli. Watch number 35, the linebacker comes in, and Judy's trying to get that nose to the end zone, and that's a clean hit from Batuli, and that is going to leave a mark on Jerry Jeudy. He's quick, fast, elusive, but he's not the biggest of receivers at 190 pounds, and hopefully he's okay.
The Biletnikoff Award winner from last season is the best wide receiver in the nation.
He's struggling to get off the field, too. It was a tough one to see.
Yeah. And Nick Saban
the ruling on the
goes
field
over.
is that the ball carrier was down short of the goal line. The previous play is under further review.
And Nick Saban went straight over to Jerry Jeudy and wants to assess for himself how he's functioning, much like Jeremy Pruitt did with Brian Maurer. As a head coach in college football, when your guys take a wicked hit and there's any question, first thing head coaches should do is get over there, look in the eyes, and make the determination yourself They're going to go back and take a look at this potentially for targeting on Batuli. See how his head goes down? Now that I watched that the second time, when that head goes down for Batuli, it doesn't matter where he hits him. That's targeting. And that's what they want to get out of the game, is that posture with the head. And Tennessee is already playing without Henry To'o from a targeting call from a week ago, who's an inside linebacker. And if Batuli is thrown out of this game, they won't have any starting inside backers.
To'o will come back for the second half. As Judy looks like that's more equipment than medical. Getting his helmet worked on. Matt Austin, former SEC referee. He's in Charlotte, our officiating analyst tonight. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, but Matt, even if he hits him in the back, right? That posture with the crown of the helmet, that's target. It doesn't matter if he hits him in the head. Yeah. That's
saw the launch too.
The previous play was reviewed for targeting on 35 of the defense. That review has been confirmed. Number 35 committed targeting. Number 35 is disqualified.
That's a tough blow for Daniel Batuli, who's the leader of this defense from that linebacker position. And I don't think that was malicious in any way, shape, or form. That's a good, hard football play, but they're trying to protect these defensive players and their necks in particular. And unfortunately, he's going to have to sit the rest of this one out.
Enforced targeting calls are way down so far this season. 83 have been enforced. At this point last season, 122 targeting penalties are enforced. So the message is getting across, but it won't help Batuli or Tennessee here tonight. Solon Page checks in as Najee Harris walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama.
Batuli,
the senior,
came over from Congo, and he missed the first 3 games this season with a knee injury, had a scope, and finally got back out on the field, and that's a tough loss.
A couple of years ago, Batuli had a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown here. And now he's gone.
Yeah, that touchdown was set up by this breakdown in the secondary. You just can't have that. And despite this big hit, Alabama's still able to get in the end zone.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Share a Coke this football season with your friends, family, and fans. And Discover. We treat you like you'd treat you.
And if you're going to pay for the new lights, Grease,
you got to use them.
Might as well use them. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay, Molly McGrath, and our entire crew wishing you a happy Saturday night from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, home of the #1 team in the land with a 21-10 lead. And Callaway up the sideline out to the 25. Here's Matt Barry. Hey, Penn State can have their white out tonight. We got the laser light show here in Tuscaloosa.
It is entertainment, Steve.
We're in the entertainment business, Grease. How many times I got to tell you? Entertain and inform. I'll be informing, I guess. Garantano tripped up as he throws. Anthony Jennings. It's an incomplete pass. Second down.
Yeah, the only thing they're discussing now is did this ball get back to the line of scrimmage? He's clearly outside the pocket. Garantano's trying to do everything he can to avoid the sack. And it does not get to the line of scrimmage in my eyes. That was about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So it should be grounding?
That's what they're talking about now.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside of the pocket, and the ball went beyond the line of scrimmage.
So beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it didn't look like beyond. Let's take another look. The ball was snapped on the 24. See where it goes out of bounds. See the official there. Goes right at the official. It goes behind the official.
Yeah, looks short to me.
Right? I mean, that was a pretty easy one because the official was standing right on the line where the ball was snapped. You had the marker on the sideline, and it clearly went behind the marker.
Maybe they're still looking at it. We're wearing poor Hubert out tonight. Alrighty then, as you were, 2nd and 10. On the ground, Tim Jordan for about 5. Christian Harris. They keep pushing the pile, no whistles, and that's a first down. That's an unbelievable run by Tim Jordan and all his friends. Jerome Carvin, the sophomore from Memphis, pushing the pile.
Well, we talked with Jim Chaney last night about Jordan. He said he loves him. He's just physical, downhill. And watch this offensive line, especially Trey Smith in there. Jerome Carvin pushing, as you mentioned. Impressive run.
Garantano will take a shot down the right sideline for Josh Palmer, and a flag comes in. Trayvon Diggs on the coverage.
Pass interference. Defense number 7. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, his right hand clearly had a hold of him. And the nice call by the side judge seeing that. And that's just discipline by Trayvon Diggs. And Diggs is good enough. He's fast enough. He's tall enough, 6'2", 200 pounds. He's in great position. You just can't grab. And that's, I mean, listen, that's hard to do, to play one-on-one on an island. But that was the right call.
The younger brother of Stephon Diggs of the Minnesota Vikings. So at midfield, here come the Vols, trailing 21-10. Garantano to throw, and Pope could not haul that one in. Pope's been targeted a couple times tonight.
Well, I think what you see from Alabama defensively, you know, they have the same issue. They have to defend the run-pass option. That's what Tennessee does, much like Alabama does offensively. And the way that Nick Saban has decided to defend it is to play man-to-man. Every single time they throw that slant route, it's been tight coverage. Sometimes they've got the pass interference call, sometimes not. But either way, they're going to make it tough to complete that ball.
And Maiden, the safety, has been great tonight in terms of his man-to-man coverage skills.
Garantano. Ball comes out. Jennings had it, and then he didn't.
And that's exactly what Todd was talking about. It's Jared Maiden that comes up and punches that football out, but it's another contested throw, slant route on the inside. Let him throw it, then come up and rip the football out. And watch number 21, the safety Maiden. He comes up and just punches it out right there. That's a great play.
Garantano completed his first pass to Jennings. But since that,
Ruling on the field was a completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
Garantano missed his next 6, and they're calling that a catch on the field for now.
Yeah, that didn't look like a catch to me.
You've been razor sharp tonight, and you've already fired the graphics guy.
It's the light show. Yeah,
oh, it is. And it's late, too, yeah. Next week, ABC has a big showdown from the big house. Notre Dame's road back to the playoff goes through Michigan. But first, Monday Night Football, Tom Brady and the undefeated Patriots head to MetLife Stadium to take on Le'Veon Bell and the JETS, Jets. Coverage kicks off Monday Night Countdown, 6 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Joe Namath jersey in the crowd, former Alabama great.
Pretty happy your Jets got back into it, huh?
What do you mean? Had it all the way.
Yeah.
C.J. Mosley coming back this week, too.
All right.
On 3rd down and 10. Garantano trying to get out of there. Escapes somehow. Cuts upfield. And he's taken down late as he hit the 50 by Christian Barmore. All of that for a gain of 1. 4th down.
Great effort there by Barmore. You know, Alabama, believe it or not, they're trying to manufacture some pass rush. Nick Saban doesn't have as much pass rush as he would like. Now, last week, they finally got Terrell Lewis and Anthony Jennings on the field at the same time and were able to manufacture some pass rush. Lewis got 2 sacks a week ago, but Barmore is one of the guys they're trying to insert on the interior of this defensive line because they like his pass rush ability in 3rd downs.
Joe Doyle punted the first time for Tennessee for 36-yard punt. So they bring in Paxton Brooks to punt. And it's even worse. That's a 28-yard punt. Not sound in the kicking game, Matt Berry. And really, those updates are for everyone else. We have that game on in the booth. You want to talk about picture-in-picture, that's what we've got.
That's a good picture for Alabama fans. Jerry Jeudy back out on the field. Great to see that he's back in the game.
Bama will start from their own 21. Up 21-10. Tagovailoa as the pocket collapses around him, and he's taken down. Greg Emerson with the sack.
Trying to throw a double move on the inside of Jalen Waddle, and that's why Tua Tagovailoa holds it. You see right here, there's Waddle. He's double teamed, and that's why he holds it. That gives Emerson enough time to get Tagovailoa on the ground.
Second career sack for the redshirt freshman from Jackson, Tennessee. 2nd and 15. That's Waddle in the backfield. Now Tagovailoa will throw to the right to Robinson. He's out to the 20, gain of 5. Crouch to stop, and here's Molly.
Well, Steve, after that hard hit on Jerry Jeudy, Tua Tagovailoa immediately went up to him and said, "Are you okay?" And Jeudy nodded, said yes, explaining that the hit messed up his helmet, which has since, of course, been fixed, Steve.
So more equipment than medical. It cost Patuli the game and the first half of next week's game against South Carolina.
He went down awkward. I mean, that was more than a helmet issue. It looked like he was kind of stunned there on the ground for a while, but good to see him back up. And that goes a long way, right? Like, he's a tough cookie.
3rd and 10. There are 7 defenders, Grease, beyond the 30-yard line. They've dropped everybody way back in coverage.
Delay of game. Offense. Alabama called timeout prior to the delay of game. That's their first charge timeout of the half.
I think they got a little bit confused here. Tennessee and Jeremy Pruitt throwing something different at Tua Tagovailoa. Take a look, as you mentioned, look at this. This is unorthodox, right? 4 and then 6 guys and then 1 guy deep. And I'm not so sure they knew on 3rd and 10 what they wanted to do, trying to check maybe at the line of scrimmage. And Jeremy Pruitt wins a head game.
I mean, they are pulling out all the stops. Jeremy Pruitt put a lot into this game plan here tonight. And he's trying to match wits with Nick Saban.
Well, nobody knows Alabama, right, better than Jeremy Pruitt.
Only a couple years ago.
Yeah, not only the defense, obviously. He knows all the signals on their defense and all, but he also knows this offense. And, you know, he was here when Steve Sarkisian was here, so knows him well. So they're going to have a few different looks. He knows he doesn't have the personnel to match with Bama, so he's got to do a couple different things throughout the course of the game. And here comes Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, the backup quarterback. as Tagovailoa is attended to. Jones played in the first 5 games. The only game he didn't get into was last week against A&M. And with everybody playing back, it's a screen to Waddle on 3rd and 10. And that backfires against Tennessee. It's a first down, Alabama, gain of 13.
Well, an unbelievable first down, but let's go back. The lead here is Tua Tagovailoa. I didn't see anything on that last sack when he went down, but let's go back and take another look. We know that he had the issues with his lower legs from a year ago, and it looked like that right ankle may have gotten rolled up. Not a good sign.
Molly.
Well, Steve, Tua Tagovailoa was walking with a little bit of a limp, and he did point to his ankle when talking to medical training staff. He is in the tent right now.
Keep us posted on that. Najee Harris takes a big hit at the line of scrimmage. Matthew Butler was the first man there for Tennessee. It's a gain of 3 on forward progress. So both starting quarterbacks have been taken out of the game for now.
I don't think people realize how much the injuries last year affected Tua Tagovailoa late. And, you know, he told us he wasn't healthy until May. Literally until May.
Think about that.
And he said he gained a bunch of weight, like 13 pounds. He was up to 230 pounds and had to work to get it off. But he needed to take that time off and get back healthy. And that's the worst possible part of his body to be injured, because that's what he was dealing with a year ago.
Blitz up the middle. Tennyson dropped it. Jones laid it in perfectly. Tough night for the tight end so far.
Well, I think that might have been tipped. It looked like Crouch, the linebacker, 27, might have got a hand on that before it got into the tight end. But now Mac Jones, an opportunity for him. You know, he's only played in mop-up duty this season, so his first opportunity in the first half of the game, that's still relatively competitive.
Bama's been perfect on 3rd down conversions. Here's 3rd and 7. Blitz coming. And Jones will be taken down. Quavaris Couch. McCullough's there, Jalen McCullough, the man they call Tank. And Mac Jones is aware of that now.
Well, why not bring a safety blitz when you've got Mac Jones, the quarterback in, and he never sees it. He comes from about 10 yards off. That's plenty of time for Mac Jones to be able to diagnose this pressure. There's no excuse for not seeing that. I get it. You haven't had a whole lot of reps in practice during the course of the week, but that was an easy one.
Short punt from Will Reichard.
Well, that's Reichard, who's been hurt. He's had a hip flexor.
Look at him.
Issue.
He's in pain too.
Well, he's had this injury, this hip flexor, and that did not look good.
It's a 33-yard punt. Tagovailoa goes down, and the nation pays attention. Injuries piling up on both sides tonight. Tua Tagovailoa walking off the field and heading to the locker room with still 4 minutes left in the half. He'll be attended to.
And he doesn't look like he's in a hurry, which, you know, if you were going to come back out, if you're going to go get taped or something and come back out, you could be in a big hurry. And that's not a great sign either, that Reichard going into 10.
That's the true freshman punter who was already injured, did not play in the last 2 games due to a hip flexor injury. And off the poor punt, Tennessee takes over with excellent field position from their own 40-yard line. Jarrett Garantano, excellent protection. And throwing on the run to Chandler. Out of the backfield for 2, Maiden the stop. And the only reason Garantano is in the game because Brian Maurer took a shot.
Boy, the longer Tennessee kind of hangs around here in this game, if they can get something here, anything before halftime, and be in this game going into half with what's transpired now with Tua being out of the game potentially, Jeremy Pruitt would have to be happy with that. But Garantano's got to pull the trigger here. He hasn't been able to push the ball down the field. The pass protection is there. You just have to make the throw.
On the ground, here's Tim Jordan. Just shy of midfield, Matt Barry.
Wow.
Big time shootout in the Big 12.
Kansas scored 40 points on Texas defense.
You didn't see that coming, huh?
Can't say
Young,
it did, no.
inexperienced, and injured.
Yeah.
We saw Texas a few weeks ago.
Especially the secondary.
Pressure. Garantano gets away. Now taken down from behind. Dropped by Shane Lee. He was lucky to hang on to the football. It's a loss of 4.
Typically when you design a pass play, you don't want two guys running into each other, but watch what happens right in the middle here. Jennings and the tight end run right into each other. And, you know, when you're trying to resurrect a program, you got a backup quarterback in there, you got guys running into each other, you're on the road against Alabama in a third down situation with an opportunity to seize some control after their quarterback goes in the locker room, and you can't execute a simple crossing route with two of your receivers.
Paxton Brooks on his second punt. He shanks that one out of bounds. Now again, some of that is keeping it away from Jalen Waddle. I get that. It's a 38-yard punt.
It's been a rough night for Tua Tagovailoa. He threw the one interception early that led to 7 points for the Vols, and now looked like a sprained ankle, and he's in the locker room.
So Mac Jones remains in there at quarterback for Alabama. Minute 44 left. Bama has 2 timeouts. It's Harris. Burst through a seam out to the 30. The first down. Gain of 12 on the play. Clock stops for the first down. Now it winds as they spot it. Jones to throw and skipped it to Jerry Jeudy, incomplete. Todd.
At this point, you got to assume you're just trying to run the football here. I'm surprised they threw the ball on this last throw. You just want to get to halftime and regroup.
Yeah, I hear you, Todd, but I don't know that I agree with you, because I think you're going to need Mac Jones in this game to win, and you might need Mac Jones.
Backed up like this?
It's not backed up. It's a 2-minute situation right before half. Get him into the flow of the game. Get him some rhythm, because you're going to need him in the second half. If you don't trust him now, you send him the wrong message.
Harris, the ball carrier, fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. Why can't Mac Jones throw the?
He can. Listen, this kid's got enough talent.
Slant.
He's got enough talent. He skipped that one. That's all nerves. You got to shake it off. But you need to show confidence in your quarterback. If you want him to play with confidence, then Steve Sarkisian and Nick Saban have to show they have confidence in him. And when you go in a shell right before halftime, that's sending a clear message to your quarterback.
Like they're doing right now.
Yep.
And Alabama will get the ball to start the second half. 40 seconds left. And everybody seems content to just get to the locker room here. Just get it snapped in time. Harris again on the ground. Najee Harris out to the 48-yard line, Matt Barry. All right, we'll see you soon. Alabama has used a timeout. Harris up to 67 yards rushing, has the 2 touchdowns, the rushing leader.
Well, yeah, now you break a little one here and you get to midfield and you call a timeout. Now you want to be aggressive, but I think it's interesting. Mac Jones is warming his arm up on the sideline over here. You know, he hasn't had a whole lot of throws. He probably was cold on the sideline watching Tua and just needs to get that arm warmed up. He didn't like the way that hitch came out.
And he's playing catch with Tua's younger brother, Talia Tagovailoa, who was the 3rd-string quarterback. Tonight's PlayStation Player Impact rating. You don't have to know the complicated formula. All you have to know is that Jerry Jeudy and Tua Tagovailoa have the highest rating possible in FBS. 99 is always a good thing.
Got it. Those 2 guys are good, right?
Good.
Really
We
good.
agree on that, Grease.
Best of their game.
They both have had a physical game already.
Still trying to figure out if he can get 100. but 99's the best so far. Here's Jones, the throw, crossing to Harris underneath. With 20 seconds left, he's down to the 31-yard line. 17 ticks remaining. It's a gain of 21.
Nice job by Mac Jones standing in there. He sees the crosser coming. He takes the hit and puts him in position, potentially get some points before halftime.
One timeout left. Jones skips that off the grass. Underthrowing Miller Forrestall, the tight end.
Yeah. Mac Jones needs to step into his throws. Every time he misses, it's low, and it's because he's not transferring that weight from the back foot to the front foot. And a lot of that is nerves. And you're in the game for the first time in the first half here, and game's on the line. They need you to produce, and just got to work that out.
Going to take another shot here with 7 seconds left. Get some more yardage. Forrestall able to catch that as Jones hit him in the numbers.
Now that should never happen.
How'd that take only 1 second off the clock, too?
Well, that should never happen. Like Tennessee and Jeremy Pruitt, he's too good of a football coach to allow that to happen. You got to defend the sideline and not let them get out of bounds and get the extra 5, 6, 7 yards.
Here's Joseph Bulovas on to attempt a field goal. Just 3 for 4 this season on field goal attempts. This will be a 41-yard attempt.
And Jeremy Pruitt's going to call a timeout.
Timeout. Tennessee. It's their first timeout of the half. This is the 30-second timeout.
That's smart. He knows that Alabama has some kicking issues, right? There's a reason why a true freshman and Will Reichard was the starting kicker, because Nick Saban didn't trust Bulovas from what happened a year ago where he missed 6 PATs and 4 field goals.
Reichard is 4 of 7 kicking and field goals this season. Yep. Again, he's dealing with the hip flexor. So it is Bulovas. Yeah, he missed 6 extra points last season. As a team, Alabama missed 9 extra points last season. That was the most in the nation.
Not only did the loss of Tagovailoa affect the offense, but he also was the starting holder. So now you see Mac Jones is out there as a starting holder. So that's new for Bulovas too.
And Tua Tagovailoa is the holder, but he's in the locker room. So Mac Jones will hold now. And Tennessee will take another timeout. The wheels are spinning tonight, Grease.
Hey, man, empty the bag.
Yeah, why not? Tennessee has 1 timeout remaining. What do you think? You want to call the last one?
Got to take it,
You know,
right?
you can't take them
Come
home
this far.
with you.
Said empty the bag.
See, now you're playing the game. Bulovas is thinking they're going to take the 3rd time out, and maybe now you don't do it.
He's standing right next to the linesman there.
Oh, come on. Come on. Listen to the crowd.
Take it.
There's Nick Saban's reaction. He's like, I taught him that.
Yeah, I know one person in this stadium knew the answer to whether he was going to take the 3rd timeout, and it was Nick Saban.
All these former Saban assistants are tired of hearing about that 0-18 record.
Yep.
Somebody's going to get him.
Nick Saban probably wants to get in the locker room as fast as anybody to check on his quarterback.
Got to come through this time. There are no more timeouts for Tennessee to take. Bulovas, after all of that, he missed it. Missed it to the left. And that's how the first half comes to an end in Tuscaloosa.
Jeremy Pruitt emptied the bag, and it paid off. 3 timeouts in a row. He knew the questions of their kicking game for Alabama.
Down to Molly.
Coach, what is Tua Tagovailoa's status for the second half?
Well, we don't really know. I was finding out with the trainers as soon as we go inside. He's got a twisted ankle of some kind.
What does your offense need to do if he's limited or can't go?
Well, we got to trust Mac to do the job. We got good players. He needs to make plays, and move the ball. I mean, obviously, you know, we messed it up in the red zone with the interception, so, you know, that was a big play in the game because it was really a 14-point swing.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
So are we giving Jeremy Pruitt too much credit with the 3 timeouts? I mean, Bullowes could have missed the kick anyway.
Correct.
21-10, top-ranked Bama at the half. Send you back to Matt Barry, Joey Galloway, Jesse Palmer in the studio. Gentlemen, it's all yours.
Welcome back to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN, presented by Geico. On a sold-out crisp evening in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, the top-ranked Crimson Tide lead the Volunteers of Tennessee 21-10 on this 3rd Saturday of October as we get set for 3rd quarter action. Tua Tagovailoa was sacked by Greg Emerson of Tennessee in that 2nd quarter. Tagovailoa would be helped off the field, head to the locker room, and our Molly McGrath just seconds ago found out from Nick Saban that Tagovailoa will not play or will not return to the game. That's the information, Brian Greasy, we have right now.
Yeah, and so it's Mac Jones's opportunity, right? We're going to find out this explosive 51-point-a-game offense. We're going to find out how much of that was Tua Tagovailoa and how much of it is those 4 receivers. Remember now, Mac Jones will get Devontae Smith back for this 2nd half.
After Devontae was ejected from last week's game for a retaliatory punch. As we open up quarter number 3. Paxton Brooks will kick it away. Henry Ruggs is back deep for Alabama. Haven't seen the big return by any of the Bama players tonight like we saw a week ago. Ruggs takes a pretty good shot and a flag comes in. He's dropped at the 19-yard line. A 19-yard return for Ruggs. We had a healthy dose of penalty flags in the 1st half.
Personal foul, blindside block on the return by number 18. Half the distance from the end of the run, 1st down.
Slade Bolden of Alabama. You see him in your picture there as we take a look at our Modelo Gold Standard stats.
Yeah, and I think this is the one that Alabama needs to be concerned about, especially now coming into the 2nd half with a backup quarterback. They have got to find a consistency in the run game. This offensive line needs to come off the ball, and Najee Harris needs to make the reads.
Here's Harris being pushed back inside the 5. He'll get out to the 6. Darrell Middleton, the stop. It's a loss of 4.
And Alabama made the change a week ago from 2 weeks ago. Chris Owens, Landon Dickerson went to the center position, and they put Deontay Brown back at right guard. And it was successful a week ago. It hasn't been as successful tonight. That time Dickerson got pushed back 5 yards into the backfield.
Jones on the ground to Harris. Dances for a couple. Down to Molly for the report everybody's been waiting for.
Well, Steve, Nick Saban wasn't happy when I was waiting for him outside of his locker room. All he said was that Tua will not return. I do have it confirmed. They said he won't return with a lower body injury, and currently Tua Tagovailoa is not out here on the sidelines.
Thank you, Molly. Looked like an ankle, but we don't want to speculate. Again on the sack from Greg Emerson. And it's 3rd down and 10 from Bama's own 9-yard line. See how conservative they play it with Mac Jones. Off the blitz, set up the screen to Harris. And he'll stumble forward about to the 14. Another stop by Middleton. But it's a 3-and-out for Alabama. The first time tonight.
Yeah, and right off the bat, Jeremy Pruitt is fired up on his side of the field. You know that he told his defense coming out of halftime, get a stop, get a 3-and-out. They've got doubts in their backup quarterback. We get the ball back, and we have an opportunity to go down and score and make this thing a ball game.
And a new punter in the game for Alabama. That's Ty Pirine, number 99 in your program. Listen to the crowd roaring Callaway the fair catch. It's a punt of 42 yards. Biggest cheer of the night for the punter. So we told you about Tua Tagovailoa. Only fair to point out that Brian Maurer, the starting quarterback for Tennessee, was knocked out of the game. And the worst part of that looked like was falling into his own offensive lineman at the end of the play. Maurer, who suffered a concussion last week, was in concussion protocol, and now he's back out of this game. First down and 10. Tennessee starts with excellent field position. And it's Ty Chandler across midfield and down the sideline. Forced out of bounds at the 30. And look at Pruitt running down the sideline with his running back after the gain of 25.
He's fired up. He realizes this is an opportunity to seize control of momentum. Great block by the center here. That's Brandon Kennedy, just gets up to the second level on Shane Lee, the linebacker, and that's what opens the hole.
Brandon Kennedy, the Alabama transfer. Again, they run it right into that front of the Crimson Tide. That's the true freshman DJ Dale for no gain.
Well, DJ Dale does not look like a true freshman. You see him there. I mean,
do any of them?
Not really, but this guy is a man. He is difficult to move. He demands double team blocks on just about every snap. He's going to be a stalwart for Nick Saban for a long time here in Tuscaloosa.
Second down and 10 at the Alabama 30. Jarrett Garantano out of the shotgun. Garantano throwing, zipped it into Jawan Jennings, and I think he's going to be short of the first down. We'll see where they spot it.
One of the things Nick Saban wants to do to try to combat these RPOs is drop Terrell Lewis. He's 6'5". Watch him try to look up the receiver, and he just gets the ball past the helmet of Lewis.
Third down and 1. Garantano on the quarterback sneak. And you can see Tennessee going quickly there to get the first down.
Nick Saban's playing with a lot of youth on this defense. 4 freshmen start in the base defense, and when they go to dime, they bring in Jordan Battle, and he's the 5th true freshman. They will have 5 on the field at times. That's a lot of youth to overcome.
And it's right up the middle, too. Defensive tackles and inside linebackers.
Trips to the left, and they run it to the right with Tim Jordan. Right in the middle of that stout Bama defensive line. It's a gain of 2. Byron Young, one of those true freshmen, makes the stop.
If I'm Jim Chaney, I'm going to think long and hard about running behind Trey Smith, the left guard. He's their best offensive lineman, their most senior offensive lineman. And Jim Chaney, look at him. He's pounding the table. Listen, we got to run the football. Man-to-man across the board.
Garantano to throw. Quarterback shoulder. And Callaway got a hand on it, but nothing else. Jared Maiden had the coverage. Maiden had the first half interception.
Alabama's choosing to match up their linebacker, Christian Harris, on Jawan Jennings. If they do it again here in this situation, Jarrett Garantano has got to target him.
They are fired up on that Tennessee sideline. So the coach is getting into it there. Here comes the blitz. Pressure. Garantano gets rid of it. It's caught by Jennings. Able to go up and bring it down for the first down. Carter on the coverage. Garantano says he took a shot to the mouth.
Yeah, Garantano, he takes a shot. His helmet comes off, so he will have to come off the field. Remember, there's no Brian Maurer, so they're going to have another quarterback come on the field for this snap at a minimum.
JT Shroud is the third-string quarterback.
Well,
but it looks like
they have no quarterback out there right now.
Like Jennings is going to take it, maybe out of the Wildcat.
Yep.
Here's some leadership for you from the 5th-year senior. 4 to snap it. They get it away, and Jennings will run with it. Turn the corner, and knocked out before he hits the goal line. There is a flag down. That could have been disastrous. We'll see if they avoided that.
I think they're going to get Tim Jordan holding on the edge. The running back was out there exposed and looked like he had some cloth in his hand.
Holding. Offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Well, that's not Jordan. That's Wanye Morris, the left tackle. What a great effort there from Jawan Jennings. Here's Morris.
Someone's going to have to get Coach Pruitt at this point. He's losing his mind.
That's a wild sideline tonight, Todd.
It is.
I think they called that on the wrong guy. Wanye Morris was not holding there, but I think Tim Jordan was, number 9, based on what I could see on that replay.
So Garantano is back in the lineup, puts the helmet back on. Third offensive holding call against Tennessee. Fake to Jordan. Garantano waits for it to develop, had 2 receivers in the area, and it's incomplete. There is a flag down in front of the Bama bench down about the 19-yard line. Tyler Bird was, I think, the intended target.
Illegal formation. That's the signal there on Tennessee.
Illegal formation. Offense, 5 in the backfield. And penalties refused. Second down.
Tennessee with a golden opportunity here to get back in this football game. They get down in the red area, and now they're self-destructing. Penalties on back-to-back plays. They have got to settle this thing down because this is their opportunity.
Second and goal from the 17. It's Jordan for 2. Jennings the stop for Alabama.
Well,
and it's going to be third and goal.
Yeah, Anthony Jennings, you know, he is an outstanding football player. Watch him come up and then back underneath, and he makes Darnell Wright look silly. But Jennings is, you know, his coaching staff says he's not great or elite at any one thing, but he is very good at everything. He will have a long career at the next level because he's a solid football player.
10th play of the drive coming up. Crowd starts to roar. Pressure's picked up. Garantano throwing, and it is juggled and dropped to the ground. Jennings juggled it. Jordan Battle, who comes into the dime spot, nearly had himself an interception in the end zone.
They've been targeting this same matchup all night. Jawan Jennings on Shaheem Carter, the nickelback. That's where they want to go with the football. They're just trying to give Jennings an opportunity to go up and make a play in a 50-50 situation. Give Shaheem credit for being in position.
Very similar to what took place in the first half. Tennessee got down to the Bama 5. Penalties. The drive stalled out. Had to settle for a Samaglia field goal. And that's the same story. He was good in the first half from 37. He's good in the second half from 32. And with 8.5 to play in the third quarter, Tennessee's more than hanging around. Close call in the end zone. Taco Bell is celebrating student sections and passionate fans like these by awarding the Live Moss Student Section of the Year. The Crimson Tide student section already on the national watch list. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete or get the committee's attention by using the hashtag Live Moss Student Section Contest. And I believe the Bama fans have already gotten the committee's attention. Pretty sure Molly's part of that committee. She's down on the field and hearing about it. Paxton Brooks will kick it away. Henry Ruggs from the goal line will run it out. Ruggs up the middle. Looks like he ran into his own guy and down to the 21-yard line. They should give him forward progress. They're going to spot at the 24. And that's where Alabama will take over, up 8.
Another opportunity for Mac Jones. First drive after halftime, a 3-and-out. And you see the production with Tua and since. And if you believe Nick Saban, he's not coming back. He's not walking through that door for this second half. This is Mac Jones's game, and I don't think 21 points necessarily is going to win this game.
I know you've never been nervous before, Grease, but I have been.
Like when? When was the last time?
Mac looks like it.
Yeah, he looks got to settle down.
From the 24, he's going to come out throwing. Jones lost one, put some air on it. And Taylor, Alontae Taylor, nearly intercepted it for Tennessee. The Vols will get a boost as Henry To'oTo'o returns. The true freshman, very talented linebacker from Sacramento, is back in the game. He was called for targeting in the second half, thus missing the first half. I misspoke earlier. Daniel Batuli, who was ejected from this game for targeting in the first half, will miss the second half of this game and will be allowed to return to play at the start of next week. Tried the slant to Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, this is the route that has been so successful, and part of this is Mac Jones not having a whole lot of reps with Jerry Jeudy. The other part is give credit to Tennessee defensively. You see the linebacker there, Darrell Taylor, just gets a little bit of a piece of Jerry Jeudy, and that sets off the timing with Mac Jones and an incompletion.
Third down and 10. Jones, blitz, doesn't feel it, and it is off the fingertips of Harris. And Jones is down, and a flag comes in late. Very late, as Mac Jones is picked up off the turf.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 19. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Darrell Taylor.
Darrell Taylor has got to be better than that. You get an unbelievable opportunity, 3 and out, and then you do something that selfish. It's frustrating.
It's not the hit, Todd. It's not the hit.
No.
Let's watch it. What does he do here at the end? Does he? No, that's not a foul. I'm sorry. I mean, he's just getting up. He's not doing anything to Mac Jones. He's not pushing him down. That is not a foul. Wow.
I agree. He lingered a little long on top of him. He stayed on top of him, but I agree.
That's not a foul.
That's not a foul.
I mean,
and that turns out to be a very big penalty.
Huge.
At this point in the game.
Wow.
I don't know. I'll be honest. Live, watching down on the field, I thought it was. I thought it was extended too long, and he could have just stood up and walked away.
Well, I don't know if you can see the monitor down there, Todd, but like he doesn't push him down. He's just getting up. Anyway, let the kids play.
Second down and 4. It's Harris. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. Hey, Matt Austin, let's check in with you. I'm curious as to your opinion on that last play. Is that a personal foul? Different perspective.
Yeah, listen, man, you agree to disagree. I've been in that position as a quarterback. That was not a foul.
On 3rd and 2. Harris, the ball carrier, still on his feet into Tennessee territory. Looked like nothing, winds up being a 12-yard run by Najee Harris.
Oh, watch the momentum change here, right? Tennessee felt like they got off the field, they got the hit on the quarterback, and they were going to get a punt situation. And now Alabama's starting to come off the ball and run the football. That's the best way for them to take the pressure off Mac Jones.
Would have been consecutive 3 and outs for Alabama. But the personal foul on the flag allows this drive to continue for the Crimson Tide. First down and 10. Good fake. Jones tees it up and completes. Able to hit Devontae Smith. Welcome back to the game. Devontae Smith, his first grab of the night. He took a big shot but hung on.
Great anticipation here from Mac Jones. Throwing this dig route. You got to release this ball on time before the safety comes up. It's well executed.
Good stick by Jalen McCullough. 6 minutes to play in the third in an 8-point game on a Saturday night in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Jones turns around, hands to Najee Harris. And that run game has really picked up here for Alabama. It's a gain of 9 at a time where you think the Tennessee defense would really focus on the run game with 2 out of the game. Here's Harris down to the 5. It's a gain of 9 on the play. Najee Harris is over 100 yards.
Alabama has brought in their backup center, Chris Owens. He's wearing number 84, and he's at a tight end position. They're in a heavy set.
It's Harris, not that time, into the teeth of that Tennessee defense led by Darrell Middleton.
But this is a change philosophically from Steve Sarkisian and Nick Saban, knowing exactly what's happening in the game. There you see Chris Owens. He's been the starting center most of the year, and he got hurt. Normally number 79, he's wearing 84 so that they can use him as an extra tight end, and that's Evan Neal down on the field, the true freshman left guard.
It's been a tough game tonight. Been a physical game. Both teams feeling the effects. Evan Neal walking off the field. It's dapped up by Chris Owens. Big part of the running game for Alabama as we check out tonight's King of the Moment, brought to you by Burger King.
Yeah, and it's been Najee Harris. In the first half, he made some plays catching the football. But here in this drive, it's been on the ground. He's now over 100 yards rushing in this football game, and they're going to need him to finish this one out.
They split out Mac Jones, and they throw to the end zone to Forrestal. It's caught. Slade Bolden hits Miller Forrestal in the end zone for the Alabama touchdown.
Wow. Give credit to Steve Sarkisian. He puts the wide receiver, the redshirt freshman, Slade Bolden, into the game, runs a little play action with Forrestal wide open in the middle of the field. Really well executed. You wonder if they had that drawn up with Tua during the week and still ran it with Mac Jones, knowing that Mac Jones probably hasn't had a whole lot of reps in the red zone throwing the football. It's a great call.
You know what Slade Bolden played in high school, Grease? You know his position?
Not quarterback.
Quarterback. 3,000 plus yards of total offense. Everybody's a high school quarterback.
ESPN College Football is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And in part by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
So it's a combination of the new lights, the new LED system here, and the old lights from your cell phone, like you're attending a concert. The old days, you take out a lighter.
Yeah, what happened to the lighter?
Hey, kids, look it up.
Everybody has cigars here tonight. They should have a lighter.
You're watching college football on ESPN, presented by Geico. Here's Ty Chandler. Banged down at the 20. Here's Molly with the latest on Tua.
Well, Steve, Tua is back in the locker room with that lower body injury. He stepped out while everyone was away from the tunnel and just went back into the locker room. He is out of his uniform. He's visibly limping, and it looks like he's favoring his left leg.
Thank you, Molly. Saw the sack there by Greg Emerson in the first half.
Yeah, you hate to see that, right? He went through so much of that a year ago, and to have a very similar looking injury, that's tough.
Tennessee's already lost their starting quarterback, Brian Maurer. And as Jarek Garantano was throwing for Jawan Jennings, there is a flag down. Xavier McKinney on the coverage there. That's only the first or second time I've mentioned McKinney's name.
Yeah, McKinney's, I think, their best player on defense.
Pass interference. Defense, number 15. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
They're calling this tight tonight. They're throwing a lot of flags. McKinney's looking back for the football. He has every right to that football, just like the receiver. And I think it looked worse than it was because the receiver just fell down. But
so the opposite will let him play.
Yeah, let him play.
Third defensive pass interference penalty against Alabama tonight. That's Eric Gray. for a couple. Christian Harris, the stop. Those are the Mr. and Mrs. Tagovailoa heading back to the Alabama locker room to visit with their son. Second down and 6 at the 42. Tennessee trailing by 15. Garantano on the run. He'll pick up 1 as he scampers out of bounds, and he'll bring up a third down.
Garantano, it seems like he has not been consistent in his reads in the run-pass option game. He's been pulling the ball when he should have been given the ball there, and that time there's nobody open downfield, and he's just trying to get something out of nothing. Brings up a big third down here, but he needs to begin to make more consistent decisions in the run-pass option game.
Jeremy Pruitt put it on his quarterbacks. He said, with better quarterback play, we're 4-2 instead of 2-4. Here's third down and 5. Pressure up the middle. Garantano can't escape from that one. It's Terrell Lewis on the sack and a loss of 8 on the play.
Darnell Wright is a true freshman. He's 6'6", 330 pounds, and he's going to be a good player, but as a true freshman going up against Terrell Lewis, he just was not ready for that move. And Terrell Lewis is starting to look like the Terrell Lewis that Alabama fans had hoped for. Last week, 2 sacks against Texas A&M, and he is their best pass rusher in third down situations.
Pro Football Focus had him on at 11 pressures a week ago. That's quite a game. Low snap for Joe Doyle this time, as Tennessee sort of alternates their punters. That one goes for 35, and a fair catch for Waddle. It's Alabama's ball, up 15 in the third.
One of the differences in the Alabama offense without Tua Tagovailoa is you have a left-handed quarterback, now a right-handed quarterback. For a left-handed quarterback, his blind side is to the right. So you have to always account for the blind side there. Now with Mac Jones in the game, it's the opposite. And the offensive line needs to know it, especially Alex Leatherwood needs to know it, because this is where Mac Jones is susceptible. Jeremy Pruitt's a good defensive coach. He's going to have his Tennessee defense on par with this and attacking from that side of the field. One of the slight differences between a lefty and a righty.
Brian Robinson, the ball carrier, with Evan Neal back in the game for Alabama. And he is gang tackled out of bounds.
Now there are some other differences as well. The way the ball spins, so the receivers have to adjust.
So that's a real thing.
Absolutely. Have you ever caught a lefty ball?
No, I haven't caught many righty balls either, but my point is from a receiver perspective, I mean, the ball spins the other way, I get it. But why would that be harder to catch?
There's not a single quarterback in the NFL who's a lefty right now.
That's hard to believe. Here's Brian Robinson. Flag comes in.
You get used to catching the ball when it comes in, the rotation of the ball. As a receiver, it's just human nature. You get used to it. And then when the ball comes in a different way, it's just different. I wasn't a receiver, but I had those guys tell me, because I played with Chris Sims, okay? He was my backup. He was a lefty. I was a righty.
Holding, offense number 11. That penalty is declined. Holding, offense number 74. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay second down.
So Joey Galloway, right? You should ask him back in the studio, because he used to have to catch.
He's still annoyed.
Yeah, he would have to catch Chris's, but he was always upset.
Maybe he just preferred Chris to you. Is that possible?
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
So McShay did all the heavy lifting on this. The last NFL quarterback who was a lefty to throw a touchdown pass, you have to go back to 2015. Kellen Moore and Michael Vick. How about that?
And the last 2 lefties to throw touchdown passes?
Yes.
Des Bryant and Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard's a safety for the Tennessee Titans.
But it is amazing to me, and we talk about it every time we see Alabama because of Tua, and he'll be in the NFL someplace next year. There has not been not even a third-string quarterback, not a practice squad left-handed quarterback in the NFL for years. By accident, you think one lefty quarterback would pop up in the league, and for some reason it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Here's the right-handed Mac Jones. He runs righty as well. He's going to be short of the first down.
Yeah, I think he didn't know whether he should go head first there and try to get the first down, and he decided to play it safe and went feet first and gave up the first down potentially. I think if he sticks his nose in here, he might be able to get that ball to the 40-yard line for a first down. You can tell he's thinking out there. He hasn't. There's a lot going on in under his helmet.
There's Ty Perine, the walk-on. To punt it away. And listen to the roar
Crowd
from
is
the crowd.
pleased.
It's amazing. Marquez Callaway on the far side. And it's Perine who lowers the shoulder. Wow, if he starts making tackles here too. That's when you know life is good. You're an Alabama fan and you're worried about your punter. And that's the only thing you're worried about. Next week, the rivalry that dates back to 1887. It's Notre Dame and Michigan, 7:30 on ABC and streaming live on the ESPN app. Got us to thinking. I don't know if you heard, Grease was 3-0 all-time against Ohio State. And who's that guy on the right? I don't recognize him.
He's pretty good.
Tommy?
He's pretty good.
Things have worked out for Tom Brady at the pro level. Pretty impressive.
That's back when, we used to play the Notre Dame rivalry every year, and then Notre Dame decided to take some time off, and I'm glad that they're back playing.
Tim Jordan, the ball carrier. So Penn State beats Michigan tonight, 28-21.
Yeah.
In that epic atmosphere, the whiteout in Happy Valley.
Yeah, and a tough loss for Jim Harbaugh. I mean, that's a hard-fought game, and Shea Patterson doing the most that he can, but Jim Harbaugh has not won the big game. And that's a tough loss, and it's not going to get any easier next week.
That'll do it for the third quarter. It's Alabama without Tua, up 15, going to the fourth. Grease, you should say something, otherwise we can't afford the rights to Sweet Home Alabama, so we don't want to pay for that coming out of your massive salary. Down to Molly with the cigars are coming out as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Molly, what's the latest?
Well, Steve, there are reports on Twitter that Tua Tagovailoa went to the hospital in an ambulance. I just ran around outside the stadium, and a security guard told me he has since returned in the ambulance, and he limped back to the locker room.
All right. We love the Twitterverse. They're going to go Wildcat with Jawan Jennings to open up quarter number 4. And he will run out of it and run right into the wall that is that Alabama defense led by Anthony Jennings. This is from Twitter for video. Wow. Hey, that was a quick ride to and from the hospital already.
No idea what that was about. Big third down here for Jarrett Garantano. You have to start making some plays in the money situations, on the money downs. Looks like you're going to get man-to-man with 2 deep safeties. If you don't have an open receiver, your legs can get you the first down.
3rd and 4. Bama really rushing 3. Garantano completes to Callaway. He's across midfield. Patrick Surtain dragged him down after the gain of 13. First down, Vols.
Yeah, 2-score game here. Tennessee is in this ball game in the fourth quarter. That's the headline. And can they make the plays that they need to from the quarterback position to win this football game? It has to start here.
Tennessee's defense has done their part. First down and 10. On the ground, Tim Jordan right up the middle. It's a gain of 5.
And they're starting to run behind Big Trey Smith, the left guard. So good to see him out on the football field. Everything he's been through, the injuries and the blood clots, to see him out here is just really great to see this young man competing on the football field.
He's working on his own practice schedule throughout the week, and that works for him, and he's good enough in the games to get it done. The reigning SEC co-offensive lineman of the week. 2nd down and 5. Again, it's on the ground. Back to the line of scrimmage. Jennings, the stop there, was last week's game against Mississippi State. The Bulldogs closed the gap, and Tennessee went on a 91-yard scoring drive, imposing their will, led by that running game a week ago. But the opponent tonight is vastly different.
An opportunity here, third down. Find Jawan Jennings. He's right here lined up, and this is who they've been trying to match him up on, Shaheem Carter.
That's Jennings in motion. Garantano able to complete to Chandler, who leaked out of the backfield for the first down, a gain of 8.
Really nice play design from Jim Chaney. On a big third down, pull out your wrinkle. You're just going to get the back coming in here in the flat. You get the eye candy with your best player going the opposite direction, and you're trying to make these young inside linebackers for Alabama, 2 true freshmen, and that's Markel Benton, read misdirection in the backfield.
Here's Chandler to the right and stopped for a loss. Christian Harris with a big stick there for Bama.
Yeah, Christian Harris comes up a little bit gimpy, holding his left arm. We know the injuries to Josh McMillan, Dylan Moses. They've lost LeBron Ray off this defensive line, had surgery. They cannot afford to have any more injuries at the linebacker position.
Second and 11. The Alabama 35. And Darnell Wright saw the flinch.
Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, second down.
May be the third time that Wright's been flagged tonight.
That's the 12th penalty on Tennessee. When you come on the road in this environment against the ¡1 team in the country.
And you're still in the game. It's a 15-point game.
Yeah.
And all those penalties. And the critical penalty will be the personal foul that kept the drive alive, led to a touchdown.
On Darrell Taylor, yeah, which I don't think was a foul.
Otherwise would have been 3 consecutive 3-and-outs with Alabama on offense. 10 of the 12 penalties accepted against Tennessee have been on offense. Garantano underneath. And Dominic Wood-Anderson for the grab. Give him about 6 there. And it's third down.
It brings up the third down of this drive. Jim Chaney has reached into his bag of tricks the first 2 times. Garantano has executed them. Does he have one more in him? And you got to wonder if they don't get the first down here.
4-down territory.
Yeah, Brian, this has got to be 2-down territory, right?
Yep.
Ty Chandler, the bottom of your screen. Only now is he covered up by McKinney. Bama rushing 5. Garantano will take a shot for Callaway. Underthrown, and a flag comes in late on Surtain. I don't know if that was supposed to be back shoulder or a poor throw, but it draws the penalty marker.
Defense, number 2, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Second pass interference against Surtain.
Yeah, I'm standing just a few yards away, and it was obvious. I mean, if it wasn't pass interference, it was holding. Surtain got in a bad position, the ball was up, and he, instead of turning around and looking for the ball, he just started to grab on.
Yeah, Todd, that's the 4th defensive pass interference on Alabama. I think it's the 2nd on Surtain. He's too good of a player to be that grabby. You got to know better.
Here's Tim Jordan. Down to the 10-yard line.
Surtain and Diggs have been in great position. They are rarely out of position. They're always running stride for stride with receivers. They just need to play the football. That one was a little bit tough because it was grossly underthrown, and the receivers taught to fight back through the defender and draw the pass interference. 2nd and 2.
Here's Tim Jordan turning the corner, lowers the shoulder, and he's banged out at the 2 by McKinney.
We've been talking a lot about Darnell Wright being abused in pass pro situations, but this time watch him come off the ball and just run block on Chris Allen.
Hey, Tennessee having their way here with Alabama on this drive. And it's 1st and goal.
Back in the Wildcat with Jordan.
Going to try to run for it, and they'll just get back to the line of scrimmage. DJ Dale was there. They flank Garantano out. Try to catch this Bama defense by surprise.
I really like when they had Juwan Jennings in the Wildcat. You know, he scored down here the last time they were inside the red zone. It was only called back because of the holding call, but I like his speed to the perimeter from the Wildcat.
Garantano back in there. That's Jordan to his right. Gives it to him. Anthony Jennings, the stop, gain of 1.
Well, you see the struggle for Jim Chaney and Jeremy Pruitt. They do not want to put the ball in Jarrett Garantano's hands down here to throw the football. It's tight windows. It's very difficult to find open receivers when the field is constricted. They really want to run this football in, but they can't just turn around and hand it inside the tackles. They've got to be creative.
13th play of this drive upcoming. Crouch is in as the blocking back down to the goal line. Going to be stopped short. No decision here.
Yeah.
On 4th and what should be inches.
The only decision is, what are you going to run?
You run, you pass.
They're going quick.
Whatever they're going to do, they're going to do it quickly.
Quarterback sneak. Garantano tried to get there, and the ball comes out. Trayvon Diggs running down the sideline. Trayvon Diggs. Nobody's going to catch him. There are no flags. This will be a 100-yard scoop and score for Alabama. And a stunning turn of events here in Tuscaloosa.
Jeremy Pruitt was beside himself. They call the hurry-up quarterback sneak. Garantano decides to go up and over. You don't typically see that, but when you extend that football, now obviously it's 4th down, so if you fumble it, not a huge deal. You got to get in the end zone, but you're not expecting Diggs to pick that ball up and run it back 100 yards for a touchdown.
Garantano's trying to make a play, and he's getting an earful from his head coach. And all the way down at the other end, Bulov Hassan for the extra point, and boots it through. On this 3rd Saturday of October, Garantano can't get over.
Jeremy Pruitt has been beside himself pretty much all season about Garantano and the way that he's not protected the football, and grabs the face mask of Garantano. Not happy, but they're happy on that sideline. Welcome back. This 4th down attempt. Watch Shane Lee, the linebacker. He comes scot-free through. This play never had a chance. He's into Garantano's chest before Garantano can even get off the ground. And Jeremy Pruitt, like, you come out and you undress your quarterback like that. That play didn't have a chance. That wasn't, Garantano shouldn't fumble the football, but that was not well executed by anybody on Tennessee, not just the quarterback.
Callaway for Tennessee. Down the sideline. Whistles blow. He must have stepped out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Take a closer look. There's that foot, the left foot out of bounds. So everybody in the building knew that play was coming, right? You speed up to go fast. We see it all the time. The quarterback just wants to reach over with the ball and break the plane. But yes, there was no chance of success as Lee snuffed it out. For Tennessee, that's a 14-play drive down to the goal line.
Now they
wind up not only not scoring, but giving up 7 more.
Well, they took Garantano out, and now he's got J.T. Strout in the game.
On the ground, Eric Gray.
You take Garantano out of this game, and he was making some plays. Granted, he's made some mistakes as well, but now he's out of this game, and you got to wonder the relationship between Jeremy Pruitt, the way he just undressed Garantano, that one might not be salvageable.
I just don't see the benefit of it.
Of what?
Of undressing your quarterback on a play that you called.
Right. Take some responsibility.
And the tug on the face mask will be discussed, even if it was a gentle tug. Just don't see that anymore. Knocked away by Trayvon Diggs, who just ran 100 yards coast to coast for that last Alabama touchdown.
Josh Palmer is their speed receiver, their big play guy down the field. He was beyond Diggs there. He was open. If Trout was able to get that ball another 5 yards downfield, that was a touchdown.
And Trout is known for having a rocket arm. Redshirt freshman from Santa Clarita, California. Vols down to their third quarterback for a variety of reasons here tonight. Maurer shaken up, injured again. And Garantano yanked.
Offense number 12.
And that's what you're going to get when you get down to your third string quarterback.
The only thing, take a look at our Zaxby's play. The only thing I can think of here, is if there was a play called and Garantano decided that I'm just going to go rogue and hurry up and call my own number.
Be the hero, right.
That would make sense to lead to a situation that you saw from Jeremy Pruitt.
Trout is going to be taken down. It's Terrell Lewis. Drops him back at the 15-yard line. Loss of 15 on the play.
And what a great spin move from Lewis. That's
Lewis when he's healthy, man. Right? He's one of the best outside edge rushers in all of college football.
They're going to need him, Todd, right? With the LSU game coming up, they're going to need pass rush on the outside with Jennings and with Lewis. Because they don't have the interior pass rush guy like Quinnen Williams or Jonathan Allen. They need to create that pressure from the edges.
Lewis just returned from the knee injury last week against A&M. They had the bye week prior to that, so fully unleashed and raring to go. They'll get another bye before the LSU game. There's Jalen Waddle trying to make a few people miss. Waddle with that shoulder pad flapping in the wind. Jalen Waddle into Vols territory to the 38-yard line of Tennessee. It's a 45-yard return.
What makes these punt returners special is when they have the vision, they combine the vision with the belief, right? And there's no fear in Waddle, then the speed and the playmaking ability. I would never kick the ball to 17.
ESPN College Football is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And in part by Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football.
The traditional third Saturday of October rivalry. You see Alabama leading in the series, winning 12 straight, but prior to 2007, Tennessee owned this series, winning 10 of the last 12. So they have had their way back in the day, and then Nick Saban showed up, and so that was the end of that. There's an injured Tennessee player down. It's Greg Emerson. He was the player that sacked Tua Tagovailoa in the second quarter, sending Tua to the locker room and maybe the hospital, although he's back. Two 14-point swings tonight from turnovers at the goal line. Just one of the many developing stories here tonight.
Let's go back and take a look at that touchdown. You know, I mentioned that it might have been a run play and Garantano just went rogue. I think it actually was, because when you watch the left guard, Trey Smith, he pulls out. See, he pulls out and kicks out the defense. That was a running play, and Garantano just went rogue and decided to try to punch that ball over himself. I think that's why Jeremy Pruitt was so hot on the sideline.
So if that is the fact, then you're okay with the Pruitt reaction other than the tug on the face mask.
I don't like a coach ever touching a player's face mask. I'm just trying to tell you why Jeremy Pruitt was so hot. That was a run play called, and Garantano just decided to try it himself.
Try to be the hero. Tennessee post-game press conference will be very interesting tonight. Brian Robinson, the ball carrier, down to the 20-yard line. 4.5 to play here in the game.
Because a lot of times we're up here and we're watching coaches and they react and they get hot, and we don't necessarily know everything that's going on, but just by watching the way that the rest of the offense reacted, if you're running a quarterback sneak, the left guard's not pulling out and kicking out, right? He's coming down. He would have come down on Shane Lee. He wouldn't have been free to hit the quarterback, and so I think that's what made him so hot.
And some clouds of smoke.
I was going to say, you guys have never smoked a cigar before, right?
It feels like we're going to be smoking 100,000 cigars here tonight.
Ooh. It's the big humidor.
I think I saw a Cohiba. That's like a Chris Berman for a stadium instead of the big toaster.
It's the big
humidor. What?
What?
Now we should point out that smoking is not permitted in the stadium.
They'll pay the fine.
You would need an awful lot of extra police officers to hand out summons for every single person that's lighting up.
Did you get me one?
We got you one.
Okay.
I think I just saw Molly lighting up there for a second.
It's a tradition, by the way.
A tradition like no other. On the ground, Robinson has the first down yardage. Tradition's been going on in this rivalry that's played on the third Saturday of October, the 102nd meeting, in which the winner gets to light up and smoke a cigar. Tennessee alum and longtime Alabama trainer Jim Goostree is credited with starting the victory cigar tradition in 1961 when he handed out post-game cigars in the Bama locker room. Brian Robinson, the ball carrier. And there are many famous photos of the locker rooms, and Nick Saban was talking about it. Tua was talking about it as well. You go in the locker room and
he's not a fan.
Clouds of smoke.
No. Tua was not a fan. And I don't know these guys. How much fun is that, right?
Yeah, so Jalen Hurts, Butch Jones and Chris Owens. And there's Nick and Derrick Henry.
Yeah. I never see Nick with the cigar in his mouth lit. I think I've seen one in there, but it wasn't lit.
I think it's more ceremonial. They're our friends from R&R Cigar.
Yeah, those guys.
Very hospitable.
They do a lot of business this weekend.
This weekend. And so apparently the players have to buy their own cigars.
Right.
Of course, the school can't buy anything for them. We know all about that with the NCAA.
It's harmless, right? It's harmless. There's tradition.
College fun.
Going on a long time, like you said, since '61. And now all the fans get into it as well.
There is an NCAA ban on tobacco in the locker room, so the winning team will be forced to self-report the NCAA violation and hope for just a slap on the wrist.
Can't trust Molly, though.
Yeah. I thought I saw Molly in the stands lighting up already. She's a big cigar smoker.
Steve, I've been hanging out with you a little too long, buddy.
Hey, you should hang out with Melrose.
Did you see there was one girl with her shirt was over her nose. She just can't take it anymore.
I guess if you come to this game, you understand what you're walking into.
Yeah, look at that.
That's hysterical. That poor kid.
Oh. Guy's right next to her.
Molly legitimately just asked me which side you smoke the cigar from.
Robinson
Keep it on TV.
for the first down.
Well,
The clock is stopped at 29 seconds left.
the biggest question coming into the second half, without Tua Tagovailoa, could Alabama finish off Tennessee? Look at these two guys.
I believe Molly's is vanilla flavored or something like that.
It's got a football on it, too.
Am I doing this right, Steve? I have no idea.
She's never done it
Not
before.
even cut.
You guys are bad influences.
You know, as they say, smoke them if you got them. And they got them in Alabama tonight. .58 degrees under smoky skies here in Tuscaloosa. 29 seconds left. The top-ranked Crimson Tide up 35-13. Scott Van Pelt is standing by with his version of SportsCenter. Lots of questions related to Tua Tagovailoa will need to be answered, probably not tonight, but this week. Arkansas comes calling on Alabama next Saturday night here. Then it's a bye week, and then it's the LSU game here on November the 9th. Jeremy Pruitt's post-game press conference will be interesting as well. That's the story. Alabama able to win. And Nick Saban goes to 19-0 against his former assistants. Tennessee hung around for as long as they could. For Todd McShay, Molly McGrath, Brian Greasy, and our entire crew, I'm Steve Lee. It's time for Scott Van Pelt.